Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Spec coming at you again. This time I have made it back home here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. After attending an awesome weekend of wrestling festivities, Ring of Honor Wrestling, which I'm going to talk about in this specific video, and in another video I'm going to talk about my WrestleMania 27 experience, my first ever WrestleMania experience. It was absolutely phenomenal. But this video is strictly for Ring of Honor Wrestling for all of you peeps and peepettes over at InYourHeadOnline.com and also around the internet wrestling community, YouTube, Facebook, the whole 9 yards. But Ring of Honor had two major shows on Friday as well as Saturday, in which I attended at the center stage. And that in itself was an experience for me. I got lost in the Atlanta abyss, and I know I'm not the only one. The first show was supposed to start, it did start at 8 o'clock. I left my hotel. I was staying at the Marriott on Lenox Street, not too far from the venue that I eventually found out, downtown Atlanta, Georgia. And to make a long story short, I didn't arrive at the venue. I left around 5:45, and I didn't get to the actual center stage on West Peachtree Street until roughly around 9:15, 9:30, right where intermission was taking place. So I missed the entire first half of that card. I'm a little upset about that. Not too upset, but just a little mad that I wasn't able to see a lot of the good stuff that did occur um, at the beginning of the show. But it was a great first night. The wrestling's, or if you want to say world's greatest tag team, Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin defeated the Kings of Wrestling to capture the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. It was the first time the Kings of Wrestling had lost those titles since, I believe, they won them from the Briscoes over at Big Bang, which I did attend in Charlotte early last year, April around this time. So it was roughly a year reign for the Kings of Wrestling with those belts from after they defeated the Briscoes. And that match in itself was absolutely incredible. It main evented the show. We also had Davey Richards just tore down the house um, with Roderick Strong. They had a knockout, drag-out affair that just captivated everybody. I'm so amazed with Davey Richards, just the fact that he's able to take so much punishment. He truly is like an American Wolf. You can beat the heck out of the guy, but at the end of the day, I mean, he just has an aura about him in which he can turn it up a notch, and it's just amazing. And the victory that he had against Strong was absolutely phenomenal. You really had to be there. The center stage crowd was awesome. We had a lot of first-time Ring of Honor fans in attendance, and after viewing the product live, they basically had the same feeling that I had for so many years. Right prior to actually attending a Ring of Honor event and actually seeing it live for the first time, they were just astonished at how great this company is in terms of wrestling. And Ring of Honor, for the most part, y'all, I mean, if you haven't been to a live event, I definitely recommend that you do it. The center stage itself was a great venue for Ring of Honor. It was, if you could imagine a ring being right in the center of the entire facility, and it's kind of like you know, um, it truly is like a center stage in most big metropolitan cities, in which it's like a kind of like an oval curve. you know Imagine the ring right here, and everything curves around it, so everyone has a great seat on what's down there in the center. It's like a big huge bowl, and the seats are around that bowl that curves up like this, and everybody's able to see it. It's a great venue for wrestling. I hope Ring of Honor continues to showcase a lot of good stuff there. Um, the concession stands were packed. Fans from around the world were there to see the first night, and the second day of activities on that Saturday was really no different. It was just as phenomenal. There was a mini fan fest um, kind of get together that Ring of Honor was putting on early in the morning around 10 a.m. Long story short, there, after about 3 hours of being lost in Atlanta traffic, I was able to find my way to center stage in less than 10 minutes. So yeah, it's amazing where when you actually have great solid directions to get to the show. And um, that's my mistake. Always have a GPS in your car. Haven't installed mine, although I have it, I didn't install it before leaving, and that's a big mistake. If you're going to a big city like Atlanta where the traffic is just so crazy, I highly recommend that you go ahead and get a GPS, because if you don't have it, you're going to experience a lot of difficulty getting where you need to be, because Atlanta's a huge circle with everything inside of it that you need inside the circle, but it's hard to locate, very difficult to locate what you need in Atlanta when the traffic is like it is. But you'll always end up where you began. That's how cool Atlanta is. But back to Ring of Honor. After the little mini fan fest they had around 10 a.m. to roughly about 12:30, they had the actual matches, and I had took a whole lot of pictures during the whole FanFest activities. I had pictures with Kings of Wrestling, Claudio and Chris Hero. I had pictures with Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas as the tag team with the tag team straps. I had pictures with El Generico. I met a lot of people that I know personally who are with Ring of Honor, who are working concession stands. I met the embassy. I mean, I met so many cool people. It was insane. Jim Cornette, who I'm a huge Mark and fan for, was there. He had his own booth. Dutch Mantel had his own booth as well, signing autographs, selling his books, taking pictures with fans. Luke, the Bushwhacker Luke was there as well. Uh, good. Well, I hope you're doing well, Butch. Sorry you weren't able to attend the event, but there is so much. All Night Express, with Kenny King and Rhett Titus. It was just everybody associated with Ring of Honor was pretty much there, and it was an awesome Japanese tag team. The girls don't get my name at the moment, but they were awesome on the second day. I mean, and I hate that I missed them during the first day of activities, but hey, it happens. But um, awesome. I mean, it was a great second day. The second day was just as full as the first day. There was a lot of wrestling fans that attended the second day that you probably see on TV a lot, whether it was the old ECW fans or whether it's WrestleMania fans that you're used to seeing during the early WrestleManias, who are always in the front row of almost every event. They were there. They were kind of like their own mini celebrities in the place. It was actually pretty cool. Um, and there was several in your head wrestling fans that were there too, who noticed who I was, and NWA Legends Fan Fest fans, who were there as well. And speaking of the Fan Fest, that's going to be in ATL as well, in August in 2011. So get your tickets there, NWALegends.com. Quick plug for you, Greg Price, who's a promoter. Also, if you if you fast forward from the FanFest stuff that occurred and some of the early matches in the second day, it was really cool to see Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards reunite as a tag team, American Wolves, and they took on Haas and Benjamin in the main event of the show. And that match was awesome. Every match was really great. The second day was strictly awesome for tag team wrestling, because we had the Briscoes, who, my goodness, Jay and Mark are nuts. There was so much color in this match, it was insane. The only person who really didn't get deep color was Kenny King, but he got beat up too. Spot after spot after spot. I'm not going to tell you everything that happens. I want you guys to just watch this match. It's just awesome. They're going back and forth, beating each other up, and it's really not spot fest. It was just great chemistry between these two teams. Rhett Titus got destroyed in this match, but it was like really the first time I saw Rhett Titus where he gets beat up so bad, doesn't play the coward. He just kept going at it. He manned up, so to speak, against the Briscoes, which was awesome. And Jay Briscoes went crazy, dude. I mean, he bled all over the place. Again, it reminded me of the Charlotte show in January this past year, where he was facing Roderick Strong, and I had no idea that Roderick Strong was that twisted and demented. Jay was just as twisted and demented in this match as he was in January. Him and Rhett had an awesome back and forth, beating each other up, blood pouring out of both of their heads. Jay, blood pouring out of his face, down his face. He's sipping the blood, and then he's just spraying it like Triple H does with all the with the water. It was awesome. And then he cuts an awesome promo at the end that you guys got to check out on the DVD when it comes out. Some other highlights on the second day where the Kings of Wrestling opened it up, and they were just awesome. Um, I noticed that Sarah Del Rey wasn't at. She was at the first one, the first show, but she wasn't at the second show. I thought it was kind of weird. Um, they looked like they didn't miss a beat. Can't think of the tag team that they faced off my head, but it was really great opening match to the card. And some other notes for the second day of wrestling. Christopher Daniels apparently is with the embassy now. Not with the embassy. He is now associated himself with Roderick Strong in his camp, and that was kind of awkward. I don't think anyone thought Daniels was going to turn, but he turned heel. Beat up Colt Cabana and beat up El Generico. Apparently, it was El Generico defeated Roderick Strong, which I did not see that coming. For the fan that probably doesn't pay really close attention to ROH, and you just hear that Roderick Strong drops the title to excuse me, drops the championship, and you're kind of wondering why they would make him lose the title that quickly. He didn't have like a huge year reign, and he loses it to Eddie Edwards, who now is the champion, and people think he's just going to be a transitional champion. It was kind of awkward that he lost, but the way they built the match with El Generico and the aftermath of it with Daniels turning and associating himself with Roderick Strong, I thought that was really good, and it leaves little doubt in my mind that ROH and the booking team know what they're doing terms with Christopher Daniels. Daniels is going to be revered regardless, but I mean it was pretty interesting stuff. I mean I really didn't expect all that to happen. Um, you know, to continue on with some more stuff, we saw the beginnings of a possible Ring of Honor World Championship match that might take place in the future between Davey Richards um, and Eddie Edwards, his former tag team, his current still tag team partner, his so-called brother. Jim Cornette came out after intermission. He cut a pretty good interview with Davey Richards, and then all of a sudden, Eddie Edwards comes out, and it's a back and forth thing between Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards that really results in nothing, but it leaves you a little doubt in our minds that they may be doing something here. Daisy Hayes was on the card too. She faced those Japanese girls. She had her tag team partner with her. They retained their Shimmer tag team titles, and just all around great card. Colt Cabana took on Squire Dave Taylor, who made an appearance for the embassy, and I thought that was great. Dave Taylor was way over with the crowd. Really good times right there. Everybody remembers the Blue Blood days. But that's pretty much it for what I have to say about the couple of Ring of Honor shows. It was really great, Peeps and Peepettes. And if you haven't, if you weren't able to see it live on the streaming pay-per-view, definitely go purchase the DVDs, because I'm definitely going to do it. But that's it for now. On my next video, I'm going to discuss my WrestleMania experience, which was just as phenomenal, if not more. I had great seats, and I'll detail that really shortly. So thanks for listening to my take on my experience with Ring of Honor in Atlanta, and I'll be right back fairly soon.